Alright, hello YouTube. I'm going to do a basic video here, and this is going to be a video on jamming, failure to feeds, and different things that might not. I just happened to pick a golden eagle, this Desert Eagle, because I was having some issues with it, and I think I might have them resolved. I had this on the gun back. I was getting some failure to feeds and some jamming, and I was using several different magazines. And I'm going to show you something here. And let's start this way here. Okay, a magazine. Okay, anatomy of a magazine. Okay, a magazine basically has a spring inside of it. Okay, inside of it, and there's a it's called like a follower. It's a little, Okay, now as you put the bullets down, and let's put some bullets in here. Okay, you see that little follower there? You're gonna see it's gonna, as you put a bullet in, it goes down. We're only gonna put 2 bullets in here. Okay, now let's say I put 2 bullets in the magazine. It's a pain to get in, so I have to do it this way. Okay, I have 2 bullets now. Now you can see, you no longer see this little tab. Okay, because it's down here. This tab is your magazine slide release tab. Okay, now I'm going to actually, for this, I'm going to basically pop this Desert Eagle apart. Let me do that real quick here for you. You get a free shot at me taking it apart. Okay, let's take this off. I'm using the Desert Eagle because it's a lot easier to show you. Okay, now let me get my handy dandy flashlight here. Wherever I put it, which I don't know where. Okay, let me show you something now. Just about all guns. Here's your, actually it probably looks better out that way. Okay, this is your slide release. You see this? Okay, the slide release. The slide release now, let me show you this. Got a little tab in there, and the inside sticks out. And what happens when you take your bullets and you put that in there, what happens? It goes up. Okay, you see this is not up, right? Because when you have your slide and you put your bullet, let's say you fire, the slide goes back, chambers your next round. Okay, slide goes back, you fire, chambers your next round. Then what happens? Now, did you see that? Let me show you here. After the last round, the slide release goes up. Then your slide comes back, it locks it, so it's open. Now, if you have a problem, and the easiest way is just to push it down and let go and see if it pops back out. Now I had to put a new spring in this. This wasn't doing it. When I put it there, it was kind of milky. It wouldn't go back down. Now, if this little tab, after your last round, does not engage into that little tab there, see the one inside I'm moving? Let me get you a little closer here, video. If this doesn't engage there, the spring will not push up the slide release to lock your next round. And what can happen, your slide can fly back down and it won't lock open. Now, there is another thing that can happen. Your bullets, and I was noticing on my bullets, I was having this problem. I was noting I had scratches on them. No scratches on them? Well, what that was from, okay, let me show you another thing that can happen. And this will cause your slide to lock back when you have a bullet in it. So what was happening, when I put that in there, okay, what happening, that little pin, that little slide release was rubbing against the bullet in there. Normally it's supposed to fall out like that, and it wasn't. If you look in there, that little tab was rubbing against the bullet, and what would happen, it was acting like pushing the slide release up. So when you fire the gun, it goes back and it locks into that slide release. And I'll show you real quick one more time what I mean like that with it together. Let's pop it back together real quick here. Deep, deep, deep. Now these babies are easy guns to put together. But just like anything, magazines can cause a lot of problems, and I really think that's the problem I'm having on my gun. Slide release. Okay, just recoil springs are in there. Put that there. You shut that down. You lock that. The gun's all set. Okay, so normally when you have an empty magazine in a gun, right? Okay, now watch what happens here again. I'm going to show you. I put that in, it locks back. See what happens? It pushes that up, this magazine. Pushes that little tab up to lock it. Now, if it ends up like this and it's locked back, what's happening, your spring is either rub that little pin or whatever on the slide releases, this round as it goes up is pushing it up. So look for the side of your bullets. Look if you got scratches on your bullets. If you got scratches on your bullets, it's the cause. And 99% of this is from poor, crappy magazines. I've been going around the circle on this. I mean, the gun itself is fine. I definitely think it's the magazine, because what's happening when I was firing it, what would happen, okay, I would fire one shot, it would go, and then I just started getting, when I fired it, this is what would happen. It will come up like this, and the slide would remain open. But as I noticed on my bullets, in the magazine, the bullet wasn't even riding. See how this bullet rides real nice now? I can actually push it down. It rides up to go in the chamber. It wasn't even doing that. Now it goes up there. See, I can push it down again, and that's the way your bullet should be. Also, the magazine should be free flowing, and if it's not, then it's hitting up in here or it's hitting on something on there. I had some magazines that were doing that, and what I did, and I'm going to find out if this takes care of it. I haven't gone to the range. I just did see yesterday, but if you look down in here, I sanded that down a little. See that? The tip of that slide release lever there, I sanded it down. I firmly believe this is probably going to fix my issue. I will get any issues with this gun resolved one way or another. I like the weapon. It's worth the investment. If you look at the gun, what else can it be? It can't be the frame. It can only be either a spring or an alignment or something. I mean, the frame is how it's made. I mean, it's there's not much to this gun. There's a set of recoil springs, bang, and that's it. I mean, there's not much else. There's an extractor. I was also getting, a few times when I fired it, the gun would go back down, and I got a failure to fire. But I think a lot of that still because the spring pressure, it's not sensing that there's a round in there. It's going back. So, but if you do get some of those issues, what I would recommend is check your magazine first. As you can see how this one is, this was not like this. I got this, I put a different spring from a Pro Mag in here. So it pops back, it's real, before I could hold that in there. And it will go up. I mean, you need a good spring that's going to push that bullet up. And at the same time, this here has to engage that slide stop. Okay, the next round to push the slide up. And if these rounds are in here hitting it, and that makes a lot of sense because I had to drop the slide, it'd fire one, lock back, let it open, drop the slide. So that's telling me right away that the pressure from there, and as I was looking, they were scratched, and this spring was very weak. It wasn't pushing it up at all. I mean, the best way, like I say, you can try that is, with it in the gun, then see if you can go up and down. If the slide release will go up and down. And let me pop this one more time again apart, and I'll show you what I mean there. I didn't show you the first time, but you can see I like taking it apart, right? Okay. Okay. Nope, you gotta press the button. I forget sometimes too. Alright, so take this off. I'll show you in here. See this in here? Okay, now put this on. Right? Now you see how I can do that? See if I press the slide release down? How it presses that down? That's nice, and it's got a lot of life in there. And yeah. So, and you can see the slide release, as I say, it pushes it up. When you take it down, we'll bring it down. So I would definitely check that part of it. I think 99% of my problem, that's where it is. I don't know why when I sent the gun back to Desert Eagle, Magnum Research, they did not detect that. Firmly, I think the factory guys, they just look at it, fire a few rounds. But they said they put 20 rounds to this gun. I highly doubt they put 20 rounds to this gun, because they would have reproduced. I mean, they would have had that problem right away, you know, if they put 20 rounds through there. So, but I wanted to show you that. A lot of it's got to do with the magazines. Like I said, this is a standard $75 Magnum Research round magazine. I took a Pro Mag spring and put it in here, and I'm going to find out. I mean, I know already that thing is popping up real good, so I already know that it's going to run better. Maybe we'll find out when I take it and start shooting it. But like I say, sand a little of that off in there, and I'm positive that's going to help a little. And then, like I said, I picked up some. Right now, these are the Hornady's. I picked up some Spear, and I'm going to try. Like I say, I'm going to load 7 in this magazine of this. Try it. 7 of this in this magazine and try it, and see how they work. These are closer to a hollow point, but they're not. I didn't feel like sanding a bullet down to make it rounder, but I mean, it should feed. I shouldn't have any problems. So the only other thing that could be is there might be some burrs up in here. In the chamber, somebody said, and I'm going to check that too. So hopefully get this out tomorrow, the day after, to the range, and we're going to try it. But if you are having, like I say, failure to feed, if you're having slide locking open and not loading the next round, you know, look at those bullets, put them in there, run them through there. Also see how stiff it ejects. If it's ejecting stiff too, that means it's probably hitting the bullets there. You may have to grind some of that slide release metal off. I'm not saying to do a lot. Do a little Dremel, then sand it, and keep checking it. You know, make sure it fits, because it doesn't really need that much to be on there. Just a little lip. And that's more than enough. They had a real big one there before, and they did change magazines. So a lot of times it could be a magazine problem. We're going to find this out, and as soon as I find, I'm going to do another video. Like I say, thanks a lot, guys, and have a good day.